When my daughter died, they said it was an accident. But an accident doesn't leave bruises on the wrists. An accident doesn't make a mother wake up screaming every night. And an accident definitely doesn't leave behind a flash drive hidden inside a ripped piece of office carpeting. I'm Maria Yakovlevna, and until 3 weeks ago, I believed my daughter Alla had simply worked herself into an early grave. That's what her husband, Dennis, repeated with rehearsed grief. She was exhausted. Maria, you know how she pushed herself. But even at the funeral, something in his eyes made my stomach twist. Coldness, calculation, impatience. So when Alla's old friend, Irina, called me today, her voice trembling, I felt my heart stop. Maria Yakovlevna, I found something. A flash drive. Hidden in her office.
Come now.
And please don't say anything to Dennis. He must not know I found it. I drove there with hands shaking on the wheel, terrified and desperate for truth. Irina was pale when she let me in. She didn't speak, only placed the tiny black flash drive into my palm like it was evidence of a crime. Your daughter, she recorded something, Irina whispered. My breath caught. I plugged it into the laptop. And what I saw in the first second made my entire body turn to ice. A video file labeled, "If I die, open this." I clicked it, and the screen flickered to life. The video opened with a shaky frame, as if Alla had propped her phone against something and hit record in a hurry. Her face appeared, pale, strained, eyes swollen from crying. My heart clenched. She looked nothing like the confident, laughing girl I raised. Mom, if you're watching this, something has happened to me. Her voice wavered, but her gaze was steady.
Determined.
I'm scared, and I don't know how much time I have. Irina covered her mouth beside me, tears forming. I couldn't move, couldn't blink. Alla inhaled sharply. It's Dennis.
He isn't who you think.
He's been taking money from the company, using my position to cover it up. And now they're auditing everything. If they discover the missing funds, he'll blame me. He already said he would. My blood went cold. The screen flickered again. There's more, Alla whispered. He found out I kept copies of the transactions. He threatened me. He said if I ever crossed him, I'd regret it permanently. Mom, please, if anything happens, don't believe him. A loud noise echoed from behind the camera in the recording. Alla flinched violently, eyes wide. He's home early. The video cut abruptly to black. The silence in the room was torture. Then Irina whispered, Maria, that's not all. There's a second file. My fingers trembled as I clicked the second file. This one opened to a different angle, Alla's office security camera. The grainy footage showed her sitting at her desk late at night, shoulders tense, constantly glancing at the door. Then Dennis walked in. Not the grieving widower he pretended to be. Not the soft-spoken man who cried crocodile tears at her funeral. This Dennis moved like a storm. Fast, angry, entitled. He slammed something onto her desk. Even through the low-quality audio, his words hissed with poison. You think you can betray me? You think you get to ruin everything? Alla tried to stand, but he grabbed her arm. Hard. My stomach lurched when she winced. I didn't say anything, she whispered. I just kept copies to protect myself. To protect yourself? He laughed, cruel and sharp. No one will believe you. They never do. I wanted to reach into the screen, grab him by the throat, drag him away from her. The argument escalated, papers thrown, threats spat, Alla cornered against a cabinet. At one point Dennis leaned in so close his spit hit her cheek. And then, a sudden crash. The camera angle jolted. Alla screamed. Irina turned to me pale. Maria, this footage was deleted from the company server. Alla must have saved it before she. But the screen wasn't done. A blurred figure entered the frame. Not Dennis. Someone else. And my breath stopped. The blurred figure moved into view, just as Dennis shoved Alla backward. For a moment, I couldn't understand what I was seeing, until the person stepped closer, and the resolution caught just enough detail. A woman.
Tall.
Dark hair. Expensive coat. And she placed a hand on Dennis's shoulder with the casual intimacy of someone who had done it many times before. Dennis didn't even flinch. He didn't hide her. He didn't stop his rage. Instead, he turned to the woman and said, clear as day, she's threatening everything. If she talks, we're both finished. My chest tightened until breathing became impossible. The woman's voice was calm.
Too calm.
So handle it. You said you would. Alla pressed herself against the wall, shaking. Please.
I haven't told anyone, she begged.
I just want to leave the company. I want out. The woman rolled her eyes. She's pathetic. Dennis, honestly, how did you marry this? I felt something inside me break. The footage crackled, jumped forward. Alla tried to run. Dennis blocked her. The woman stepped closer, whispering something I couldn't hear, but the look on my daughter's face, pure terror. Then the video froze with a loud electronic pop. Irina gasped. That woman, do you know who she is? I did.
Too well.
Because she wasn't just a stranger. She was Dennis's boss and Alla's mentor. And she had been at the funeral, crying beside me. For a long moment, I just stared at the frozen frame. Her face, cold, elegant, so composed, felt like a blade twisting inside my chest. Elena Morozova. The woman who hugged me at the funeral. The woman who stroked my hair and whispered. She was like a daughter to me. A daughter she helped destroy. My hands curled into fists so tight my nails cut my palms. Irina touched my arm gently. Maria, this is dangerous. These people have power, influence. Dennis isn't acting alone. I knew that already. I also knew something else. If Alla had hidden this flash drive, she wanted the truth exposed. But grief clouded thoughts. Pain roared in waves. I wanted to scream, to break something, to collapse onto the floor where she must have cried alone. Instead, a strange stillness came over me. Revenge doesn't grow from rage. It grows from clarity. And for the first time since her death, the fog lifted. Dennis and Elena didn't just kill my daughter's career. They killed her. And they believed her voice had been silenced permanently. But Alla had left behind a weapon. And I would use it. All right, I whispered. We do this quietly, carefully. And we make sure they pay with everything they fear losing. Irina swallowed. What's the plan? I looked at the pause screen. Dennis mid-shout. Elena mid-smirk. Their empire, I said. We burn it down. My revenge began with the one thing Dennis and Elena never imagined I possessed. Restraint. Powerful people expect chaos from grieving mothers. They never expect precision. Step 1 was simple. Make myself invisible. I stopped asking questions. Stopped visiting Alla's office. Stopped appearing suspicious. Dennis relaxed so quickly it was almost insulting. Maria, he said one evening when he visited to check on me, you should really move on. Alla wouldn't want you dwelling. His sympathy was rehearsed. His eyes were already scanning the room for valuables. I smiled, a gesture so calm it unsettled him. Good. While he played the grieving widower, I met quietly with a forensic accountant recommended by Irina, a woman who had no love for corporate tyrants. She analyzed the files Alla saved, the embezzlement trails, falsified reports, offshore accounts. Her verdict was lethal. These two have been stealing from their investors for years. One leak and they're finished. But I didn't want to leak it. Not yet. I wanted Dennis and Elena to feel the ground rot under their feet, slowly, unbearably, before it collapsed. Step 2. I anonymously contacted 3 investors known for their ruthlessness, forwarding just enough evidence to spark paranoia. Step 3. I hacked the company's whistleblower portal using Alla's old credentials and submitted a detailed report with time-delayed release. Once the clock started, nothing could stop it. By the time Dennis realized someone was after him, it would already be too late. The first crack appeared 3 days later. I was drinking tea by the window when Dennis called me, voice strangled, breathless. Maria, have you heard anything? Investors are panicking. Someone leaked internal audits. Elena thinks. He cut himself off, realizing he'd said too much.
Ah.
So Elena was turning on him already. I kept my tone soft, trembling, the way he expected from a broken mother. No. Dennis, what's wrong? He exhaled shakily. I just need you to trust me. Whatever you hear, just remember Alla loved me. We were fine. His voice cracked into something ugly. We were fine until she decided to ruin everything. There it was. The truth slipping out like poison. Hours later, Irina sent me a message. They're fighting. Everyone in the office can hear it. Elena accused him of planting the evidence. Dennis yelled that she pushed Alla too far.
Good. Let them eat each other alive.
But the real blow landed the next morning. My whistleblower report triggered an automatic investigation. Federal auditors arrived at the company unannounced. Employees were escorted out.
Computers seized.
Elena was photographed screaming at officers in the lobby. By noon, Dennis had vanished. By evening, Elena held a press conference blaming unknown saboteurs. And by nightfall, a police car pulled up outside my house. 2 officers stepped out. Mrs. Yakovlevna, one said gently, "We need to speak with you about your daughter's case." I invited the officers inside with a steadiness I didn't entirely feel. One of them set a folder on the table. "Mrs. Yakovlevna, new evidence has surfaced. It contradicts the original ruling. We believe your daughter may not have died by accident." My chest tightened, but I nodded. "Show me." Inside the folder were printed stills, frames from the deleted footage Alla had saved. The same footage I'd turned into an anonymous whistleblower tip. Only now, the images were enhanced, sharpened, undeniable. Dennis's hand on her arm. Elena blocking the door. Alla's terror. The officer cleared his throat. "Dennis Yakovlev is currently wanted for questioning. He fled the city this afternoon. His vehicle was abandoned near the Old River Road." "And Elena?" I asked. "She's been detained on charges of financial fraud and obstruction." Irina, standing beside me, squeezed my hand. For the first time since Alla's death, I felt oxygen fill my lungs fully. But it wasn't over. 2 days later, I received a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer. "Maria," the voice was broken. It was Dennis. "You destroyed my life," he rasped. "But you didn't win. There's something Alla never told you. Check the last file on that flash drive." My blood ran cold. "There is no last file," I said. He laughed, a hollow, unraveling sound. "Exactly." And the line went dead. Alla hid something even deeper, something neither of them wanted found.